And there he is, Godzilla.
That is well animated, isn't it?
Yes, the head and the mouth and the legs and the arm, the tail, they're all animated. It makes it look like he's actually walking down the parade route.
All right, question. Is this Godzilla? This is a float from the 1991 Rose Parade made by the American Honda Motor Company. It won an animation trophy. Very cool. The only problem is that Honda didn't license Godzilla from his owner Toho. So Honda got sued for this. The lawsuit lasted over a year and involved Honda using the defense that this is not Godzilla. The defense did not work, and Toho won the lawsuit. More cases like this coming up, including a lawsuit that Toho lost. But first, let's pay the bills. This is my dog Andy. He's a rescue, and he's a finicky eater. He's also a badass. Look at that hoodie. Andy picked today's sponsor, Nom Nom. Nom Nom is fresh dog food made by real people who really care. You go on their site and tell them about your pup, age, weight, breed, etc., and they'll tailor a specific amount of individually packed Nom Nom meals for your doggo. Nom Nom sent Andy a chicken cuisine made with chicken, sweet potatoes, squash, and spinach. This food is so fresh that it requires refrigeration. He loves it! Look at him go! Next day, and now he's in his good boy shirt. Fix your bow tie, son. Today we're having turkey fare made with turkey, brown rice, eggs, carrots, and spinach. Frickin' dog's eating better than I am. I'm actually surprised how much Andy's into this. If we're being fully honest, Andy is now a senior dog, he's lost a lot of teeth, and like I said, he's a finicky eater. The fact that I know he's getting his nutrition and enjoying it a lot really makes me happy. Nom Nom is prepared, mixed, and packed with care, all in USA Kitchens. Treat your dog to food that's good for them and good for their health. Get 50% off your first order of Nom Nom. Click the link down in the description below or go to trynomnom.com/MIB. Thank you, Nom Nom, for helping to take care of Andy and for supporting this video. Toho protects their property vigorously, as well they should, but this zealous copyright protection, combined with a long-standing misconception that elements of Godzilla are somehow public domain, has resulted in a lot of lawsuits. In America, the Godzilla license is protected by Greenberg Glusker, a Los Angeles-based law firm. Chuck Shefford is a partner who's represented Toho since the mid-1980s, and it's right there in his web biography, policing the unauthorized use of Toho's copyrights and trademarks and, where necessary, bringing litigation to enforce those rights. One article states that Shefford has a poster in his office that reads, "If you thought Godzilla was scary, wait until you meet his lawyers." Shefford is joined by litigator Aaron Moss, and together, they fight to make sure that features of Godzilla don't become considered generic, which would devalue his trademark and make it harder to enforce in the future. So where's the line? When is it copyright infringement? When is it parody? How many features do you need to remove or add to Godzilla before he's no longer legally Godzilla? I'll show you some more lawsuits where Toho wanted to protect their copyright, and I'll let you guys draw your own conclusions in the comments. We start in 1981, before Greenberg Glusker were representing Toho, with trash bags. Monstrously strong bags, to be exact. This is Bagzilla, a heavy-duty trash bag available at Sears. Bagzilla had a Godzilla-type cartoon mascot who can help you dump your mowed leaves into a bag. Toho, along with their then licensing representative Henry Saperstein, filed a lawsuit against Sears, Roebuck & Co. In the lawsuit, they state that Bagzilla depicts a comic personified reptilian creature, and they sought monetary damages and injunctive relief. This lawsuit was dismissed by a federal appeals court, ruling that the caricature was not a serious threat to Toho's business interests. The court found that Sears was merely making a pun, and that Toho failed to demonstrate how Bagzilla could cause consumer confusion with their brand. This would become a very rare loss for Toho, and the only one on this list. Just a few years later, in 1985, Paul Reubens took his character of Pee Wee Herman to the big screen for the first time ever with Pee Wee's Big Adventure. The movie focused on Pee Wee trying to find his stolen bicycle, and concludes with him recovering the bike and being chased through various Hollywood productions. During this bicycle sequence, Pee-wee is chased through a production with Godzilla fighting King Ghidorah. Why were they shooting this in Hollywood and not Japan? Because movie. This Godzilla suit was made by Cleve Hall, a special effects artist, makeup artist, and actor. Hall was a massive Godzilla fan, and it's actually him inside the costume in this movie. According to a 2008 article on Wired, the film's distributor Warner Brothers didn't know that they needed Toho's permission for this whole Godzilla sequence. They were sued, and Warner Brothers paid an undisclosed amount to Toho. The very next year, in 1986, Warner Brothers released One Crazy Summer, another comedy that also has an appearance by a Godzilla costume. I have no idea if they got sued for this one too, but I mean, this costume is all over the movie's art. Suffice to say that Warner Brothers was really convinced that Godzilla was public domain in the late 80s. But let's jump ahead to 2008, when Subway introduced a brand new bargain. For just $5 American, you can get any 12-inch sandwich. This campaign birthed one of the most annoying yet memorable jingles in my lifetime. Good Lord, make it stop. In just 1 year, revenue from $5 footlongs alone topped $3.8 billion. Still, everyone hated this campaign. Franchisees hated it because it wrecked their margins, especially as the campaign continued through inflation. I hated it because this song makes me crazy. $5 foot long. And Toho hated it because of this 2008 ad featuring this. You'll have to forgive this poor quality, but it appears to be a big green monster walking through a city. Toho argued that in this ad, created by the McCarthy Mombro Bertino advertising firm in Boston, Massachusetts, the monster resembled Godzilla in appearance and was in a Japanese city wildly associated with Godzilla movies. Toho filed a lawsuit against Doctors Associates, the owner of Subway. The owner of Subway is called Doctors Associates? Anyway, Toho demanded up to $150,000 in statutory damages for willful infringement and unspecified damages. Toho claimed that the Doctors Associates refused a demand to cease running the ad, as the ad played during such programs as American Idol and the NCAA basketball tournament. Eventually, Subway settled and removed this monster snippet from the ad. The very next year, in 2009, yet another commercial featured a Godzilla-type monster.
Movie, sports, explosive action, HD on-demand attraction, heartbeat pounding roller coaster. Oh.
This ad, titled Comcast Town, was created by the agency Goodby, Silverstein and Partners. The campaign launched March 2nd, 2009, and Toho launched a cease and desist based on this guy. Comcast originally agreed to pull the ad, but then they didn't. You see, Comcast promised to stop running the ad April 11th, but then kept running it through May. So Toho filed their suit August 6th, and Comcast made a statement saying they do not believe there has been any copyright infringement. They said this wasn't Godzilla. Now, you may feel that the Subway lawsuit was a bit overzealous, but this is Godzilla. Oh, he's missing a row of dorsal plates. Knock it off. That's Godzilla. And also, fuck Comcast. And while I don't have the exact details of how this particular case turned out, I don't know, that's the end of the sentence. Our next case takes us to New Orleans, the year of our Lord 2013. New Orleans Lager and Ale Brewing Co., LLC, also known as NOLA Brewing, was selling a beer called Mecha Hopzilla. The back of the can described the beer as Hop Monster. The beer also featured this mascot, a sort of cyborg-looking lizard guy. You know where this is going. Sued! Toho sued them that September, claiming the name and logo were copycats of their infamous character, Mechagodzilla. The lawsuit said that NOLA Brewing was using Mecha Hopzilla, quote, to take advantage of the goodwill and public familiarity with the Mechagodzilla character and to create an association in the minds of customers that its product is somehow affiliated with or sponsored, endorsed, or sanctioned by Toho. The brewery's attorneys argued that the branding falls under parody. But before a judge could rule on this, in 2014, the case was settled, and NOLA Brewing agreed to change the name of the beer to just Mecha. This video can go on forever, from Toho taking issue with vendors at Yankee Stadium selling inflatable Godzillas to celebrate Hideki Matsui, to Toho suing an Arizona rock band called Asshole Godzilla, to Toho suing a Napa wine called Cabzilla and forcing the winery to dump an undisclosed amount of their wine. But I mean, look, that's straight up art theft. I don't think there's a set of actual rules that dictate when you've successfully escaped plagiarizing Godzilla in your design, but instead looked at by the lawyers more on a case-by-case basis. Sort of a we'll know it when we see it deal. But what are your thoughts? When does a Godzilla design stop legally being Godzilla? Is Toho right to protect their property with such ferocity? Or is it bad public relations? Did Max Fleischer miss an opportunity to sue Toho? Sound off in the comments. Until next time.